RuneScape's pretty intimidating. There is so much content to go ahead and do. I thought after I would max my account, I would feel the most freedom I've ever felt and go ahead and do whatever I want, and that's exactly what I'm doing. But now I feel like there's even more content than there was before maxing. When I was maxing, I kind of had like a do this, get this 99, get this achievement diary, and now being an Ironman that's maxed, I want to kill every boss at the exact same time. I want to go and get collection logs and do my clue scrolls, all of it at the exact same time, and I kind of just like, I'm lost and I don't even really know where to start. When I was a young kid, my dad always said, "You're still playing that game, do you not ever get bored of it?" No, I literally never get bored of this game. There is always something to go ahead and do, and it's actually kind of crazy how much content is in this game. I've been looking at the news articles like, oh my god, I hope this update doesn't come out because I still want to do these grinds before, and I know if a brand new update comes out, I'm going to want to check that type of content out. It's just been crazy, and then you can go super dry at some things as well, like the Dragon Warhammer, I'm 10,000 kills dry at, right? I realistically should have got that 2 weeks ago if I was on drop rate, but because I've been so dry, it's been another 2 weeks and I still do not have it. In no way I'm actually complaining about that there's so much content to go ahead and do. It's just I want to do it all, man. There's so many things that I want to do, and being maxed, I feel like I'm so far behind on collection logs. I really want to get into combat achievements as well. I've been really loving doing a bunch of PVM after I've been maxed. I just recently got into the gauntlet, and that is probably the most fun I've ever had on old school RuneScape in about 2 or 3 years. Like, I mean, learning Hydra, learning Zalra was fun, but the gauntlet is just, it's just crazy. If you've never checked out the gauntlet, go ahead and do it. It's basically dungeoneering in old school. The boss is crazy, and I really want to work my way up to the corrupted version of the gauntlet, but it's hard, man. I recently made a video talking about going for 200 million XP in all skills, and a lot of people in the comments were saying you should do collection log, you should do bosses, and 100% I think that's exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to go for 200 mils in the background of some skills that I really want to go ahead and do, and who knows, 10 years in the future from now, if I'm still playing RuneScape, then I will go for 200 mil, all right, but I think it would be a lot more fun to do collection log and just getting to be amazing or better at pretty much every boss in the entire game. It's kind of crazy to me how playing Ironman made me fall in love with combat. I, before this, was a skiller, not a giller. I would just be chopping trees and I hated combat. Literally, like pre-EOC, I would use my experience lamps on Slayer. Like, how crazy is that, man? I can't even believe that I did that, and I really wish that I got to take part in more of the PVM pre-EOC, but anyways, I didn't, and now we have old school, and I think old school has a lot more fun bosses, a lot more challenging bosses and stuff. I haven't even really dipped my toes into raids yet, and I have a maxed account, which is kind of just pathetic if you really think about it. This year, I'm not going to focus as much on XP. I'm going to really be focusing on getting myself better at the game. Like, even little things like doing clue scrolls, getting all the stash units. I just want to expand my knowledge of the game and the PVM aspect of the game rather than just 200k XP an hour and, you know, just playing long hours. I just want to be good at the game. It's crazy to me to think that I started this account in 2017 and it's 2023 now, and I feel like I do not have enough time to play, and I play roughly 5 to 6 hours 4 or 5 days a week, so I play a decent amount, and I feel like I just don't have enough time to do what I want to do. And it's crazy because I used to log out no problem, and now when I log out, it's like, I don't want to log out. It's really weird. I just, after maxing and going for PVM goals and trying to just better myself at this game, I have been more addicted than I have ever been, I think. Really break down how much content there is in old school RuneScape, and you have to think about this at the same time. Every week we're getting a new update, which could be a lot more content, right? You have things like skills, right? Basic things where each skill can take anywhere from 80 to 400 hours to get to 99, depending on the skill, obviously, right? And I know some of the XP rates are different if you're a main versus an iron or whatever, right? But we'll just say an average of whatever, 150 to 200 hours per skill, right? And then you have all of these skills, and then we're going to be getting a new skill soon, right? And that's just one aspect of this massive game. And then we have things like, oh, thank you, Genie. Then we have things like quests, which some quests can take up to 4 hours, and we have this massive list of quests. Some of them are, 5 minutes, but some of them, like Monkey Madness and Dragon Slayer 2, can take a new player like up to 4 hours to go ahead and complete, which is absolutely crazy if you think about it. And I'm looking at this now, and it's like, I can't believe that I did that. Then we have things like achievement diaries as well, which these can really take a long time. If you are just going for these, just the requirements alone can take you so long. And then you have things like certain ones where you have to get level 5 in all of the barbarian assault roles. That can take you 30 to 40 hours. And there's just so many. Catching 1,000 chompy birds can also take you, I don't know how long, but it'll take you a long time. And then we have small things like mini quests, the Karen diary, and recently we have got the combat tasks, right? Which is, I guess we've completed a few, but yeah, the combat tasks, I haven't even really touched up on this yet, and this is hundreds of, maybe thousands of hours of extra content to go ahead and do in this game. And then we have collection log, man, which I don't think a single person will ever complete the entire collection log, because we have things like Gilded or Third Age, but it's crazy. Like, each boss you could spend thousands of not thousands, but hundreds of hours at, right? I've killed 2,000, almost 2,200 Hydras, and I still haven't gotten the 2 best drops from it. Even just little things like barrows, going ahead and collecting all of these, this was probably at least a 100-hour grind right there, and there's multiple bosses, and they're just going to keep adding more and more. We have raids, right? Each raid could take you 1,000 hours to complete, and don't even get me started with clue scrolls, mini games. There's just so much types of content on this game, and it's really starting to be intimidating just because I want to do it all right now. The thing is, though, if you play a main account, this kind of doesn't really matter unless you are the type that would go for collection log. But if you're an Ironman, you have to get everything yourself. So, a Dragon Warhammer, I'm 10,000 kills dry. A normal account could just go buy that from the Grand Exchange, and that's the task over with of getting that. I mean, you might not have it in your collection log, but you've got the item, which will help you for other goals, right? For me to even really take part in the raids, I basically need a Dragon Warhammer unless I want to be carried, or I need a Bando's Godsword, but it's really hard to get that without the Dragon Warhammer. Do you see what I'm saying? So I basically need to go ahead and get that grind out of the way, right? Which I've already spent well over 100 hours at the Lizardman Shamans, and I'm no closer to getting the hammer from when I started the grind, which is just very depressing to me. And who knows, I could spend another month there and still not have it, which is kind of really demotivating me. That's why recently I've went to things like the Gauntlet a few days a week just to test it out and see and build my PVM skills as well. I think to not burn out, you have to have multiple different grinds as well, but you can't just focus on one or you will burn out of the game. But I just want to do them all, right? It's just crazy how addicting this game is. It's a great, obviously, design because it keeps me playing, right? I've played this game since I'm 9 years old, and I'm 23 now, so it's pretty crazy. And I've played this account for about 6 or 7 years. I can't really do the quick math in my head right now, but and I plan to play it for another 6 or 7 years, or however long until the Jagex servers shut off. One great thing about Runescape is you can never know everything about the game, right? There's going to be level 3 skillers that have the best skilling methods that we may never find out unless they post them on YouTube or whatever, and even then, we won't be able to do it. Even like high tier PVMers might not be able to do the best skilling actions in the game, right? If they focus all their time skilling, they're going to get really good at it, right? The same with PVM. If you focus all of your time on PVM, you're gonna get really good at it. So I kind of just want to better myself. I've been a skiller my whole life, and I love going for 99s, but I feel like that is done until the new skill comes out, and it's time to better myself in something else. And I really want it to be PVM because there is so much content with PVM. And maybe, who knows, in the future I could dip my toes into some how do you even say that? PKing? And we'll see about that, but who knows, I might never do that. I know the learning curve on that is even crazier than PVM if you really think about it, because we have people like Odablock that will just like 2-tick you and you're dead. When I first did my first couple of kills at the gauntlet, my sister used to play old school RuneScape. Actually, not even old school RuneScape, pre-EOC. And I like told her, I'm like, there's dungeoneering in old school RuneScape, but it's called the gauntlet, and it's extremely hard. It's the hardest thing that I've ever done. And she's like, what? Isn't Hydra hard? And I'm like, no, Hydra's freaking easy. But I seriously think that's why I continue to play this game, because there is so much to learn, and I will never stop learning on this game. And you can never be the best at the game, right? There's some games where you just are so good at it that you can just consistently keep doing it, right? But you can be really good at one boss on RuneScape, but that doesn't mean you're going to be good at another boss. And I really do like that about old school RuneScape. Some people say that Zulrah is so easy and they have 10,000 kills, where other people say Zulrah is the hardest thing that they've ever done. And to me, Zulrah was pretty hard, but once you got to learn it, piece of cake, right? And I feel like if I piece of cake, all of the bosses in the game, we're gonna have a big bank and have tons of content for the next year. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching the video. If you went ahead and watched the whole video, go ahead and comment down below any bosses or any PVM that you really struggled with, and maybe I will even try and tackle it in the next couple of months. But yeah, thank you guys so much, and I will catch you in the next one. See ya later.